Lieutenant Dixon, are your men ready for the mission tonight?
General Beauregard, yes they are. Men, I just came from meeting with the General. He has approved our launching our mission tonight. We go on our mission tonight. It is risky, but I will have my lucky gold coin from Shiloh with me.
We are going in for the attack!
Lieutenant Dixon, are your men ready for the mission tonight?
General Beauregard, yes they are. Very ready.
Good. Very good. But I must be honest with you. Since we lost 2 previous crews diving the Hunley in training, to include Hunley the designer himself, that I believe the Hunley is more dangerous to those who use it than it is the enemy. Because of that, I am ordering you to not dive the submarine, but attack on the surface. Your Submarine Hunley, if successful, is one of the few chances we have to break this blockade of Charleston Harbor that is starving our armies and people, including women and children. Have you worked out your strategy?
Yes, sir, I have. We will move out from our inlet on Sullivan Island and attack the Housatonic, a valuable sloop of war and closest to Sullivan Island. As you ordered, we will attack at night on the surface with only our deck awashed. This will make us very hard to detect. By the time they do see us, we will be too close for them to use their cannons on us. The boys will drive hard at the cranks when we are ready to strike her to ensure our explosive detonates. Then, we will back away and head further out to sea so we can return on a different heading than our attack heading. If we are successful, we will signal our batteries on Sullivan Island with a blue lantern. Based on the reaction of the enemy vessels, we might have to rest on the bottom until activity subsides. And then, when the tide comes in, surface and head for home.
Sounds very well planned out. Even though they are in short supply with the blockade, I had the quartermaster send a few overcoats to your men, given this is the coldest winter Charleston has seen in many years. Oh, one more matter. Lieutenant Dixon, I don't need to remind you that this mission is top secret. That is why you are wearing civilian clothes, to not draw attention to yourself in Charleston, given there are so many Yankee spies about. But I must also tell you that because it is top secret and you fail to return, President Davis and I will deny any acknowledgement of your mission and you and your men's fate. Nor will you and your crew's family members be notified about your mission and fates. George, Godspeed to you and your brave men. Now leave and go make your final preparation.
Yes, sir, I understand.
If anyone can complete this mission successfully, it will be Lieutenant Dixon. Can he do it? Can he do it? My God, he must do it. But I'm afraid this was the last I will ever see brave Lieutenant Dixon alive again.
Men, I just came from meeting with the General. He has approved our launching our mission tonight. Because the 2 previous Hunley crews died after they submerged, he has ordered us to attack on the surface. We will attack at night with our decks awashed, and by the time the Yankees spot us, it will be too late. As we near the ship, I will need you to give me all the power you can to make sure our torpedo detonates on the enemy ship. Once the ship sinks, we will signal our batteries on Sullivan Island that we were successful with a blue lantern. The mission is dangerous, and all of you are brave to volunteer. This is our last hope of breaking the enemy's blockade. Now, make your final preparations. We will move out in 2 hours. God bless us on our historic mission. Dear Queenie, we go on our mission tonight. It is risky, but I will have my lucky gold coin from Shiloh with me, and I will return safely to you. This war cannot go on for much longer, and we can get married after the war as we discussed. I feel I have to go on this mission as the last hope of breaking the Yankees' blockade on Charleston that is starving our people. Trust we will be together again soon. You know I love you, and you will always be in my heart and mind for eternity.
George, I know you will return safely to me, and I will pray all night long for your safety. I long for our future marriage and life together. I love you with all my heart and know we will have a happy life together. I will watch you leave tonight, and I will be here in the morning upon your return. Your lucky gold coin binds us together for eternity. Know that I will not sleep or rest until you are safe in my arms again. I do love you more than anything in the world.
Queenie, I will await your smile in the morning, like the rays of the sun in this cold winter.
On shallow field the cannon roared. A bullet struck the turn. It hit a gold coin on Lieutenant Dixon's pocket. And fate itself was burned, and he barely survived.
Sure looking out for you.
He rose again from Tennessee with iron in his eye. That battered coin would sail with him where darker waters lie. Roll, boys, roll her down the bay. Hunley's running underway. From shallow field to Charleston tide, we'll strike the damned Yankees before the break of day. The Union fleet lay thick outside, blockading mast to mast. Their guns were trained on Charleston town. They swore the port would not last. But iron answers timber walls when bold men take the chance. The submarine
They
called
say the Hunley is down
was
below,
built to break
waiting
that
for
stance.
us.
Twice she sank and took her
Keep your eyes peeled. We ain't going down without a fight.
into the grave. Still 8 men signed and shut the hatch and turned her toward the fray. Roll, boys, seal the iron door. To crews lost will be no more. Through the dark and through the foam, we'll send their blockading ships below.
Boys, keep this steady pace. Housatonic is in the distance, and we are headed straight at her. We will get our revenge tonight.
I don't see any rebel fish boat. That is just a log in the water.
They turned the crank toward Housatonic, anchored in the bay. Row, boys, hold her just below. Not too deep and not too slow. Past the guns and past the line. Tonight we break the Yankee blockade line. Boys! We are going in for the attack! Give me all the speed you can! All the speed you can!
Look there! It's a rebel fish
A
boat!
shout rang through the night.
Dog! Open fire!
Hard against the hull and split her wings. The thunder rolled beneath the sea. The timber split apart, and Housatonic slipped away with fire against her heart. One blue lantern
I think I see the blue light from the Hunley.
against the harbor sky. Charleston saw the signal burn before it flickered dry. Mission success. Row, boys, let the lantern shine. sea will carry Hunley's name. The war moved on, the years rolled by. The harbor kept her still till sonar found her iron bones. Beneath the tidal swell, they raised her slow and found them there. At stations side by side, and near George Dixon's steady hand, that battered coin survived. Roll, boys, roll her once again. First beneath the sea, in war among men, against the guns of the blockade line. Hunley changed the tide of time. Forever known as the first submarine to sink an enemy warship in the world.
I am Lieutenant George E. Dixon. I was the commander and pilot of the Hunley submarine. I was born in the Midwest, but was often associated with Alabama because of my regiment. I served in Company E, 21st Alabama Infantry, and was wounded at the Battle of Shiloh. I was a sergeant at that time. Caroline Bennett, my sweetheart that I affectionately called Queenie, gave me a gold coin that I carried, and it stopped a bullet that struck my left thigh in the Battle of Shiloh. I kept it as a good luck charm ever since and carried it with me on my mission with the Hunley. I became closely involved in the submarine project in Mobile, Alabama, and was promoted to lieutenant. I eventually led the final Hunley mission. I had been described as an athletic man in my mid-20s with blonde hair. Because the mission was top secret, I did not wear a military uniform on the mission. They found with my remains a black civilian suit with boots. They also found that I had a large brooch and ring, and of course, my gold coin from Shiloh was found with me. I am very proud of the courage and dedication that my crew showed on this mission. They gave their full measure of devotion to stop the northern invasion and blockade of our lands. Had the Yankees not invaded the South and strangled us with their blockade, we never would have had to sink the Housatonic, killing several of her crew members. But that was the gist of the war. We fought it because the Yankees invaded and occupied our southern lands. They were down here and had a stranglehold on Charleston, and our people and armies were starving. That is why, as dangerous as the mission was, given the 2 previous crews that died on training missions, my crew and I all still felt that we needed to give it a try to break the Yankee blockade. A commander could not have had a better and more brave crew as mine on board the Hunley on the night of 17 February 1864. God bless their souls in memory. And as to Queenie, well, she was my last thought in this world before I entered eternity. She was and will always be the love of my life.
I am Arnold Becker and was the first crank on board the Hunley. I was the youngest and smallest member of the crew. I was an immigrant from Germany. I was 20 years old and roughly 5 feet 5 inches tall. Previously, I served on Confederate vessels, including CSS Chicora and Indian Chief. I sat at the first crank directly behind Lieutenant Dixon and also helped manage air circulation and valves. I did my duty for my adopted country.
I am Seaman C. Lumpkin, second crank aboard the Hunley. The researchers found me to be one of the most mysterious crew members. They only knew of my surname, Lumpkin. I had been a European sailor who had served on several Confederate ships and volunteered for the Hunley. When they found my remains, forensic evidence showed I was a heavy pipe smoker, with toothwear consistent with holding a pipe. They were right. I loved my pipe and a good beer. I was one of the older men in the crew, and I did my duty as a veteran sailor.
I am Frank Collins and served as the third crank in the Hunley. I was a native of Fredericksburg, Virginia. I served in the Confederate Navy beginning in 1861 and volunteered for the Hunley because it sounded like the best opportunity to teach the damned Yankees a lesson. They described me as a large man, over 6 feet tall. I was positioned mid-submarine at the third crank. I did all within my powers to defend my state of Virginia and our Confederacy from northern aggression. I am proud that I gave my all for my country on board the Hunley.
I am Corporal Johann Frederick Carlson and served as the fourth crank on board the Hunley. I was born in Denmark. I was a former sailor who crossed the Atlantic before the war. I deserted a merchant vessel in Charleston in 1861 and joined the Confederacy. I served aboard the privateer Jefferson Davis and fought at Fort Walker. I was in my early 20s at the time of the Hunley mission. I volunteered for the Hunley mission as I thought it would be exciting to sail beneath the waves, and I thought it was the best chance to end this damned Yankee blockade of Charleston. I am proud to have been a member of Lieutenant Dixon's crew, and that we did our best to stand up to the damned Yankee invaders.
I am Augustus Miller, third crank on the Hunley. Most knew me only by my last name, Miller. Researchers think I was likely European-born based on forensics, and they say there is very little historical documentation about me. What a shame, as there is so much more that I could tell them about myself and the things I have seen and done. I served earlier on Confederate naval vessels and volunteered for the Hunley because it sounded like an adventure and an opportunity to make history sailing below the waves. I did my duty as a true veteran seaman, and that is all one can ask of a man. I am proud of my fellow crew members and the gamble we took to break the Yankee blockade. God bless them all, and Lieutenant Dixon. He was an outstanding officer and leader.
I am James A. Wicks, and I served as the sixth crank on board the Hunley. I was from North Carolina and later lived in Florida. I had previously served as a Union sailor earlier in the war and survived a naval battle before later joining the Confederacy. The recovery folks found my Union identification disc with my remains. Joining the Hunley was an opportunity to serve my native state and to get out of a prisoner of war camp for better food, I might also add. Most of my life involved frequent maritime danger, so volunteering for duty on board a rebel fishboat seemed a perfect fit for me. I'm proud to have been with my fellow seamen on board the Hunley. In the courage and determination we all showed the world in making history to be the first submarine to sink an enemy warship. If we had more time, oh, the sailor tales I could tell you, and the tankards we could finish in the tavern together.
I am Joseph F. Ridgway and served in the 7th cranked position, aft position, on board the Hunley. I am a native of Maryland and could not support the Yankees invading other states, so I joined the Confederate Navy. I was considered Lieutenant Dixon's second-in-command among the enlisted crew, and it was an honor to serve under Lieutenant Dixon. The archaeologists found my good old slouch hat, pipe, and pencil with my remains. Oh, how I missed that hat and pipe. Lieutenant Dixon gave the commands, and I ensured the men carried them out to standard. We trained hard and were not deterred by the 2 previous crews that died on board the Hunley. Charleston was in desperate circumstances and needed a special weapon to deal with the Yankee blockade. The Hunley was that potential weapon, and we were all eager to give it a go. While we never returned, we all died knowing that we had indeed delivered our explosive charge on the enemy's ship and sent it to the bottom. I, like my fellow Hunley seamen, was proud to have carried out that mission to sink the Housatonic.
My name is Caroline Bennett, though most folks have always called me Queenie. I was very young when I met George Dixon, but I knew from the start that he was the great love of my life. He carried himself with a quiet confidence, a gentleness that didn't quite match the uniform he wore. When he left Charleston that February night, I stood there believing, truly believing, I would see him again. And when word came that the Hunley had not returned, I waited. Days passed, and I held on to every rumor, every whisper that perhaps the boat had surfaced somewhere unseen, that the men were alive, and George would walk back in the door with that wonderful smile of his. Hope can be a stubborn thing, especially when your heart refuses to let go. But he never came back, and the world felt dimmer for a long time after that. I could not bring myself to look at another man with anything more than politeness. Years went by before I could even imagine opening my heart again. People say time heals. I don't know that it heals, but it teaches you how to carry what you've lost. George Dixon was my first great love, and a part of me, long after the war had ended, stayed with him in Charleston, waiting on that shoreline and the dock where we embraced each other before he departed, and our future life together ended forever. There are two theories on why the Hunley sank. The first and most widely accepted is that the crew died immediately from the blast wave caused by their detonation against the Housatonic, and then the submarine drifted out to sea and eventually sank to the bottom. The alternative is that the crew moved out to sea and dived and settled on the bottom until the turmoil on the surface subsided, and the tide would come in and make it easier to return. While they were on the bottom, they did not realize how much oxygen they had used up, and they slowly fell unconscious and died. They were already dead by the time the water entered the submarine. Both of these theories explain why all the crew members were still at their stations and did not panic and try to climb all over each other to get out, as happened to the two previous crews that drowned when the submarine sank on training exercises. As to the blue light, that is questionable whether it was really seen. Only one officer on the rebel battery on Sullivan Island claimed to see it, and one Union sailor floating on the rigging of the Housatonic that was above the surface after the ship sank. All of the faces of the crews in this video are based on the reconstructed faces, but in video, they have more human feel and not the wax-like ones generated in the museum. Their names and information is courtesy of all the research from the Hunley team, and they are wearing uniforms of the time, a mixture of Navy and infantry items to include overcoats as the mission took place in February, and Charleston was having one of its coldest winters on record. Caroline Queenie Bennett is also in this video, and her likeness is from a photograph of her from the period. She was 17, and she was going to marry George after the war. She was so heartbroken by his death that it was many years after the war before she married and had a family. Share this video as a great deal of work went into it, and if you want to show your support to see more such videos in the future, give it a like on YouTube. This video is not linked to any official organization. Thank you for watching.
Well, boys, hope you enjoyed the video and song. The Hunley story is truly amazing. I learned so much from Team Hunley's archaeological work on the submarine since its recovery in 2000. I enjoyed making the video and song. I'm thinking now of my next project to do. Drop me a comment if you have any suggestions. I'm leaning towards the Siege of Yorktown. Please like and subscribe, as well as share the video with others who you know that you might think would like it. Until next time, cheers. This is James, out.